Welcome to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services virtual training for home health providers. This is part 2 of a 4-part series of instructions for all home health providers. These instructions are available for download under the new provider heading on our webpage, michigan.gov/homehelp. This presentation is specific for anyone who wishes to become a home health provider not associated with an agency. In this presentation, you will learn how to fill out the 12-step provider enrollment application, as well as how to track your application once it has been submitted. While you fill this out, you may want to write down some information for your records, so it will be beneficial to have pen and paper nearby. Additionally, this is a multi-step process and does not have to be completed all at one time. The system will save your information and you can resume where you left off when you log in. However, you must complete your application and submit it for state review within 30 calendar days or your application will be deleted. If you need any assistance with this application, please call the Provider Support Helpline at 1-800-979-4662. Let's begin. You'll first need to log into the State of Michigan single sign-on by going to sso.state.mi.us and entering the user ID and password you created in part 1 of this series. Click the link to CHAMPS on your application portal and then click the Knowledge and Agree button. On your CHAMPS homepage, click the new enrollment link to enroll as a new provider. On the next screen, click the button next to Atypical or Non-Medical Provider and the button next to Individual, then click Submit. Fill out the required information on the next screen indicated by the asterisks. Your application type is always atypical individual/sole proprietor, and that should be the only option in the drop-down box. Additionally, a valid email address must be entered in order to apply as a home health provider. There are several ways to create a free email address, but these will not be covered in this video series. Finally, note that all providers are subject to a criminal background screening that could affect your ability to be paid through the home health program. By filling out this form, you are agreeing to the background check. If you have questions about the criminal background screening, please view the MSA bulletins posted on the home health website. Click Finish when you have filled in the required information. On the following screen, you will be given your application ID number. You will want to write this down to track the status of your enrollment application at a later time. Then click OK. You will be taken to the main application page showing links to the 13 steps of the application on the left side of the screen. Notice under the status column, Step 1, Provider Basic Information is complete. Click on Step 2, Add Locations, to enter your address information. Click the Add button and enter the required information indicated by the asterisks. A couple things to note about this page. Your location type will always be primary practice location, and you'll want to use your personal residential address for this form. You can sort of shortcut through these pages by listing your street address and your zip code, and then click the Validate Address button, and the system will automatically fill in your city and town, state, and county. Click OK when this is filled out. You'll notice your primary practice location address has been added to your locations list. Click on the link for primary practice location, and then click Add Address. In the Type of Address drop-down menu, you'll notice 3 options. At the completion of your step, you will update for 2 of these options. For now, just click on the Correspondence option. Note that all correspondences from the home health program will be sent to the address entered here, so enter the address where you regularly receive mail. If that address is the same as the one you entered before, simply select Copy Location Address under the Type of Address menu. This will enter the address automatically. Then click OK. Now you have a correspondence and location address in your address list. Click Add Address one more time to designate a Pay To address. In the Type of Address menu, choose the Pay To option and then select Copy this location address again. Then click OK. Please note, the Pay To address is just a formality. The check will still go to the address that was indicated for the client by the adult services worker. You will have 3 addresses listed in your address list: correspondence, location, and Pay To addresses. You're finished with step 2. Click Save, then click the Close button in the top left corner of the next 2 screens. This will take you back to the main application page. Step 2 will be marked complete. Proceed by clicking Step 3, Add Specialties. Then click the Add button on the next screen. For both provider type and specialty, choose Home Help Individual. Then click OK, and then click Close. Step 3 is now complete. Because all Medicaid providers utilize this application, some will be required to complete all steps of the application. As a home health provider, you are only required to complete 6 of the steps, as the rest do not pertain to you. Therefore, this video will only address those required steps. We will skip steps 4 through 7 and move on to step 8. Continue to step 8, Add Provider Controlling Interests / ownership details by clicking on the link. This step gets a little tricky, so be sure to follow the steps exactly. Click the Add button to add an owner. In the Owner Type drop-down menu, select Managing Employee. In the Percentage Owned box on the right, type the number 0, and in the bottom half, enter your address information again. For the start date, click on the calendar and click on the date that you have started filling out this application. For the address, again, fill in address line 1 or the street address and the zip code and click Validate Address, and it'll fill in the rest of the information for your address. When this whole form is filled out, go ahead and click OK. On the Owner's List screen, click the first hyperlink on the Owner Social Security Number column on the left. Scroll down towards the bottom of the screen under the Relationship box and click the Add button. A box will pop up, and choose your name in the Owner Name menu and select Self under the Relationship drop-down menu. Then click OK. If you scroll down, your name will be added again in the Owner Name column. At the very bottom of this page, click on the Final Adverse Legal Actions / Convictions Disclosure link. Read the statement provided and answer the question at the bottom of the page by choosing yes or no and comment if necessary. Then click OK. Click Save, then click Close. And you're going to repeat the same steps for the second Social Security number listed. Click on that second Social Security number, scroll down to the bottom and click Add in the Relationship box. Choose your name in the Owner Name menu, and again choose Self for the relationship type, then click OK. Your name will be added to the Owner Name column. Again, click on the Final Adverse Legal Actions / Convictions Disclosure link. This is the same convictions and disclosure link that was shown previously. Read through it again if you need to, and answer the question at the bottom by choosing yes or no, and comment if necessary. Then click OK. Click Save on this page again, and then click Close. click Close on the Owner's List page, and you'll notice that Step 8 has been completed. Steps 1 through 3 and 8 are now complete. 2 more steps to go. Continue on to Step 12, Complete Enrollment Checklist. You will need to answer all of these questions in order to complete this step. In the answer column, choose yes or no in the drop-down menu corresponding to each question. When you reach the question, what county do you plan to work in? Answer the question yes and type in the county that your client resides in. When you reach the question, what is the name of the adult services worker you are working with? Answer the question yes and type in the last name of the adult services worker that has been assigned to your client. Answer the rest of the questions and then click Save at the top. Click Close on this menu, and that will return you back to the application page. Your final step is submitting your enrollment application for approval by the state of Michigan. Click the hyperlink for Step 13 and read the statement on the following page. Then click Next. By clicking Next, you agree that the information submitted as a part of the application is correct. Read the terms and conditions on the next page and click the button at the very bottom of the page, acknowledging that you have read the terms and agreements and agree to fully comply with all program requirements. Then click the Submit Application button at the top left. A box will pop up telling you your application has successfully been submitted for state review and to return to the CHAMPS homepage to track your application. Click OK to return to the application main page. It may take several days for the state to review your application, and you will receive notice of their decision at that time. You can also check the status of your application at any time by clicking the Provider tab and clicking the Track Application option. Then you can enter the application ID in the box and click the Submit button at the top left corner. A message will pop up with a statement about the status of your application. This concludes part 2 of this series. When your application is approved and you have received your approval letter and 7-digit provider ID number, you will be able to enter CHAMPS to access and submit your electronic service log. Please continue to the electronic service verification instructions to learn how to access your electronic log and record and submit your services. If you have any questions, please consult any of the following: the Home Help Provider Support Hotline at 1-800-979-4662, the Home Help Provider Support email at providersupport@michigan.gov, or the Home Help Provider FAQ document by going to michigan.gov/homehelp and clicking on the Home Help Frequently Asked Questions link under the Additional Home Help Resources heading. Thank you.